Fletcher Kane, the main antagonist of Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 2 Lawless, is working with the mask maker Daigo. Any espionage quests that are connected to the found quest that we can do with Cassie Quinn and the story quest Wanted Keisha Crossed, there are walkie-talkies that we can find in the Chapter 6 island in places owned by Fletcher Kane, such as Mask Meadows, Lone Wolf Lair, Crime City, Outlaw Oasis, and Shiny Shafts, that allow us to eavesdrop on Kane. Currently for now there are 8 of these, but 4 of these walkie-talkies gives us inside information on the partnership between Fletcher Kane and Daigo. So let's break these down one by one, shall we? The first walkie-talkie can be found at Mask Meadows' bank security station, and after interacting with it, we get to hear a conversation between an Alpha Guard and Fletcher Kane. The guard informs Fletcher that they installed a mysterious machine in a mysterious workshop. Not only this made Fletcher happy, but he informs the guard that Daigo will be pleased about this. So what's the first walkie-talkie telling us? Well, it tells us that not only Daigo is 100% alive, but we don't know where he is currently on the Chapter 6 island, but it seems that this even confirms what Midas told us back in his story quest Wanted Midas. Because if you remember, by talking to Midas, he tells us that Fletcher and Daigo are working together, which is not good. But again, we don't know where Daigo is on the Chapter 6 island, so we're still left in a big head scratcher to his location. So let's move on to the second walkie-talkie. The second walkie-talkie can be found at outside behind Lone Wolf Lair on a bench. After interacting with it, we then hear Fletcher Kane informing his men that a partial is ready to be delivered, and he wants his men to make sure to deliver it to Daigo promptly. So, what is the second walkie-talkie telling us? Well, it seems that after when the machine was installed in the workshop, Fletcher is informing his men that they have to deliver a mysterious partial to Daigo soon as possible. So now let's move on to the third walkie-talkie. And this one is pretty interesting, because this actually reveals what the mysterious partial was. The third walkie-talkie can be found at Outlaw Oasis, and after interacting with it, we can hear an angry Fletcher Kane telling his men that he doesn't care that the workshop scares them, that they must deliver the gold soon as possible. So this confirms that the partial is no other than gold bars. And it seems that Fletcher doesn't care that his men are scared about the mysterious workshop, that they must deliver the gold soon as possible. But now there's one question. Where exactly is the gold? Well, the gold is located no other underneath Daigo's underground workshop. That's right. The workshop that Fletcher and his men were talking about was no other than Daigo's underground workshop at Mask Meadows, because you can literally find gold bars at that place. I mean, it's quite also understandable why Fletcher's men will be afraid of Daigo's workshop, because that place is filled with ominous creepiness. Because if you remembered, Daigo creates masks with magical powers. But again, Fletcher doesn't care that the workshop scares them. But now there's one question. Why does Fletcher deliver gold to Daigo, and then what does he get from him after delivering it? Well, this is where the fourth walkie-talkie comes in. The fourth walkie-talkie can be found inside the mines of Shiny Shafts. And after interacting with it, we soon hear another conversation between the Alpha Guards and Fletcher Kane. We hear that the Alpha Guards have been gunned down and they need backup. And Fletcher told his men that they must retrieve their masks since they now have a vacancy in it. So what is the fourth walkie-talkie telling us? Well, is that after when Fletcher delivered the gold at Daigo's underground workshop, Daigo delivers them masks. That's right. The mysterious machine that Fletcher and his men installed inside Daigo's workshop is a mask-making machine. You see, if you remembered, Daigo used the exact same mask-making machine back in Chapter 6, Season 2, Season 1 Hunters to make the Fire and Void Oni masks. But now there's another big question. What are the masks that Fletcher Kane's men are wearing? Well, this is where things get surprising. If you remember when we do heists around by robbing vaults, trains, armored vehicles, including trains, it's been revealed that the Fletcher's men are using no other than the Void Oni masks. The same ones that we can use in Chapter 6 Season 1 Hunters when we teleport across the island while also battling demons. So it seems that after when Fletcher delivers the gold to Daigo, Daigo provides them with masks in order to get the upper hand on the outlaws and of course Midas himself. Because this even tells us that Fletcher doesn't even care about the gold. All he cares about is power. If you remember our conversation with Midas, by asking him about Fletcher, he explains that Fletcher thinks that the whole world belongs to him. So this thus tells us that Fletcher doesn't care about the gold, he cares about power. Which means is that Fletcher is delivering gold to Daigo, while Daigo provides them with masks of the Void Oni masks so they can ambush the outlaws and Midas so they can intimidate them. Which is currently not working because, you know, his men are being gunned down by the outlaws and Midas and us because we're interfering with his plans. But there's also one big problem. Since Fletcher only cares about power, this still does confirm what Midas warned us, that Fletcher will get his hands on the 0-point shard to expand his power. So he can also expand his golden empire, that way he can deliver more gold to Daigo, and he'll get more masks from him, that way he can continue his conquest to conquer the Chapter 6 island. Even though that he's just a self-proclaimed tyrant now, confirmed by Cassidy and Midas. Even though Fletcher is not taking himself seriously, because we don't take him seriously after so many cringe replies from him when we face him. But he's now taking the villain role very seriously now when it concerns with the 0-point shard now. And he's also now connected to Daigo, our former ally, now turned enemy. But again, for now, we can only find 8 of these in total. There are probably more scattered upon the Chapter 6 island that we still need to find, that will give us more insights to Daigo in Fletcher's partnership, and I'll gladly find them soon than ever. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching this video. We're now learning the dark truth about Daigo and Fletcher's partnership. This will also hurt Kendo and Jade, considering they are connected to Daigo, and once they find out their brother is working with a self-proclaimed tyrant, they will be upset and heartbroken. And with Fletcher Kane's story quest coming tomorrow, we will probably get more information upon Daigo and his partnership, and more information about what they're planning to do with the shard soon enough. And knowing that Fletcher is taking orders from Daigo instead of the other way around, because it seems that Daigo is giving him orders and he must follow it. instead of the other way around. So, with that said, comment down below what your favorite things about Fortnite, creativity, buying players, Fortnite Ballistic, Fortnite Reload, the return of Fortnite Chapter 1 Season 3 OG. Comment down below what your favorite things about Chapter 6 Season 2 Lawless. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos from me. And I'll see all of you in the story quest Wanted Baron. Bye!